Are you a Virgo or do you know someone who is? Maybe you've heard the basics: practical, perfectionistic, always noticing what's missing or slightly off. But what if I told you there's more to Virgo than high standards and selective company? What if I told you Virgo energy is one of the sharpest forces in the Zodiac, able to spot what needs fixing, bring calm to chaos, and quietly make things better in a way that actually works? Hi, I'm Alice, host of Following Journeys, a show that profiles entrepreneurs and business leaders through the lens of their astrological chart. And today, I'm taking you on a deep dive into the world of Virgo. Whether Virgo is your sun, your moon, or your rising sign, this is for you. And if you're not sure where Virgo shows up in your chart, just go to followingjourneys.com and get your free birth chart. You might discover something surprising about yourself or someone you love. So let's talk about Virgo. Virgo is the sixth sign of the Zodiac. It follows bold, expressive Leo and shifts us from grand expression to quiet refinement, precision, service, and purpose. Virgo energy is about discernment, improvement, and making things better, not just for themselves, but for the people around them. People often reduce Virgo to being overly organized or critical, but Virgo's true power is care. They care so much that they can't help but notice what could be better and do something about it. They fine-tune systems, anticipate needs, and bring structure where there was once mess. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication and thought. But unlike Gemini, who spreads information wide, Virgo applies it with precision. Mercury in Virgo is about refinement, clarity, and implementation. If you're a strong Virgo, you don't just notice, you improve. And you don't just care, you serve. And you don't just organize, you create calm, steady spaces where others can thrive. Each sign is also connected to a part of the body. Virgo rules the digestive system, the part of us that separates what serves us from what doesn't. Maybe you're someone who instinctively knows what's helpful, efficient, or healthy, always refining what you take in, whether that's food, information, or even emotional energy. But when life feels overwhelming or uncertain, you may feel gut tension, digestive issues, or uneasiness. Virgo energy wants clarity. Too much ambiguity, that creates internal stress. Many Virgos hold tension here when they're carrying too much, trying to fix what isn't theirs to fix, or chasing perfection that no one asked for. Think back to your childhood. Were you the one who always double-checked your homework, packed extra snacks, followed the rules, quietly cleaned up the mess no one else even noticed? Maybe you were particular. Certain foods, textures, or routines needed to be just right for you to feel calm. Even as children, Virgo energy shows up as helpfulness and quiet responsibility. They feel drawn to make things better, to care for others through thoughtful, behind-the-scenes actions. That's the Virgo gift. Symbolically, Virgo is represented by the Virgin or Maiden, a symbol of purity, devotion, and thoughtful care. Virgo energy is about tending to what matters, paying attention to details, and offering service through meaningful small actions. They don't seek the spotlight, but their quiet precision helps others feel safe and supported. In a world that often values flash over substance, Virgo's care stands out. That's the Virgo devotion. So let's talk about Virgo and relationships, because this is where they often feel misunderstood. Virgo shows love through service. They'll fix your tech, edit your resume, stock your favorite snacks, all before you even ask. But because they notice everything, they can also be critical. And that criticism, it usually comes from wanting to help, not hurt. Virgo wants things to be better, but sometimes their need to improve overshadows their ability to just let things be. They say, "I love you," by making your life easier. They show devotion by anticipating your needs before you even realize you have them. But they can also get lost in doing and forget that their presence alone is enough. They might quietly refill your water glass before you even notice it's low, adjust your pillow without saying a word, or remember exactly how you take your tea every single time. For Virgo, these seemingly small acts are grand gestures of love. When Virgo trusts that they don't have to prove their worth through service, they become some of the most loyal, supportive, and thoughtful partners you could ever have. So what's it like to be close to a Virgo? Well, it's like having your own personal Swiss Army knife. They'll catch the typo, organize your vacation, remember the tiniest details, and have a backup plan before you even realize you need one. Their love shows up in quiet, practical ways. Steady, thoughtful, and deeply reliable. But all that attention to detail can become exhausting. Virgo needs permission to let go, to rest, and to be messy without guilt or judgment. When they feel safe enough to relax, you see their tenderness beneath their precision, a love that's steady, kind, and deeply committed. Now, every sign has both a light and a shadow side. It's not about good or bad, it's just how energy moves. So let's talk about Virgo. When they're imbalanced, Virgo can become overly critical of themselves and others. They may micromanage, fixate on flaws, and chase an impossible ideal of perfection. Underneath it all is often a deep need to feel useful and worthy, believing that if they just get everything right, they'll finally be enough. Rest can feel irresponsible. Mistakes feel personal. But when Virgo allows imperfection, when they let things simply be, they relax into a steadiness that people trust. And Virgo's life lesson? It's learning that perfection isn't the goal. They're already enough, even with a few mistakes. When Virgo allows space for imperfection, they soften into a kind of grounded wisdom. And that's what makes them truly magnetic. Next, let's talk about archetypes. Archetypes are simply patterns of energy, ways we recognize certain roles or behaviors in people. For Virgo, one of the clearest is the everyday girl or guy. No matter how successful they become, Virgo stays grounded. They remember names. They ask thoughtful questions. They treat everyone from the limo driver to the CEO with equal kindness, whether it's a coworker, a client, or the person making their coffee. And when something feels off, a crooked picture frame, a typo on a menu, or a friend's unspoken worry, they quietly step in to make it right, often before anyone else even notices. The other is the healer. Virgo notices what's off and gently works to make it better, whether organizing a messy system or quietly helping someone struggling. Virgo brings calm, steady improvement. That's the Virgo energy. Thoughtful, humble, always quietly making life better for others and for themselves. Now, if you're a Virgo sun, moon, or ascendant, here's a few grounding tips for your energy. Schedule unstructured time. Your nervous system needs it. Practice self-compassion. Perfectionism is not required. Spend time in nature. It really does help you reset. And remember, you don't have to fix everything. Your presence is enough. The most healing thing you can offer sometimes isn't the solution. It's simply being there, offering your quiet steadiness while others work through their own process. And one more thing. Did you know that not all Virgos are the same? Astrologers divide each zodiac sign into 3 10-day sections called Decans, adding subtle shades depending on when you were born. Decan 1, August 23rd to September 1st. Pure Virgo, ruled entirely by Mercury. You bring thoughtful order to chaos and make excellence look effortless. Decan 2 is September 2nd through the 11th. Co-ruled by Saturn, you bring structure, discipline, and patience. People trust your judgment. Decan 3 is September 12th through the 22nd. Co-ruled by Venus, you're the most graceful Virgo, practical, but with a strong aesthetic sense and emotional refinement. So, which one are you? Let me know in the comments which decan you fall into and how your Virgo energy shows up in your life. Maybe you're the one who notices what others miss. Maybe you're the friend who brings calm to chaos and order to messes. Maybe you're the one who quietly takes care of everyone without needing credit. That's the magic of Virgo. Steady hands, thoughtful heart, quiet brilliance. And if you know a Virgo who needs to hear this, send it to them. They might feel seen in a way they never have before. See you in the next sign.